the On the Ground Linguist. Some may note a similarity of title here with the Underground Grammarian, by Richard Mitchell. The real difference is that it is possible to be a grammarian, but it is not possible to be a linguist as defined. Part and parcel of the definition of a linguist is someone who studies languages, which is wholly impossible. The impossibility of this means that a linguist is a puka, an imaginary construct. Using the Cartesian dictate, if I don't think, I therefore am not. Language is universal and intelligible, while grammar is particular and perceptible. In this binary pairing, language is a noun, a container, while grammar is the material difference, the verb, or the contained. We do not drink the cup, we drink what is in the cup. Now, do you want some form of mocha, or hemlock? You should already know, as a matter of reflection, most educational systems around the globe make the drinking of hemlock mandatory. Be that as it may, it has always been your choice to drink it, or to dump it on the ground. I, personally, chose to become self-educated, that is, to use my own hand to learn. I have always been amazed at the insanity contained in our school books and teachers. It should make you ill to think of it. Thinking about this state of affairs has always had a depressing effect on me. It is a good thing we have music to lighten our spirits. Language is intelligible, while grammar is perceptible. In short, if you cannot see it, you certainly cannot study it, or to become like it. One of the defining characteristics of being human is the ability to learn grammar systems, not language, for that is an ability we are born with. Who, have you ever known, had to study before they were allowed to be born? Therefore, if you meet people claiming to be linguist, take pity on them. One can hardly call them human, for they simply do not meet the minimum requirement for learning grammar systems. We do not have to study to be born, but we most certainly have to study if we are to be born again. Being born in the body is perceptible, being born as mind is intelligible. As demonstrated globally, a computer can process all information in any system of grammar. It cannot learn language, nor can we. The difference between a computer and us is, a computer can never be intelligent. It has to run on programs written by people who actually believe that they are intelligent. If, therefore, you know the fear of not meeting the minimum level of intelligence to learn grammar systems, then you are motivated to learning how to think in accordance with the truth of things. You know what is at stake. If you do not know this fear, sometimes called the fear of God, then you have come here by some chance impulse which will just as quickly take you to some other amusement. Only those with a fear of God have the motivation required to learn truth. A mind is potentially the most powerful life support system possible, and it achieves that ability through information processing. The first requirement being, one has to know that there is a difference between a noun and a verb, the two parts of speech. In short, the minimum mental requirement to becoming functionally literate is the ability to use the two parts of speech in accordance with fact. Just on the face of it, we are a life support system who uses language to construct grammar systems in order to do our biologically defined job. Can a computer, a thing that is not, nor ever can be alive, ever evolve in order to maintain and promote the life it does not, nor ever can have? Those who harp on AI are simply engaged in a con job. AI is an oxymoron. If you do not comprehend that, you probably will never meet the minimum requirement to being called human. If it is not a form of life, it cannot possibly evolve. Following pre-given programming is not a definition of life. The danger in AI is the same danger that has always existed: insane and stupid people. Being clever at making con jobs is not actual intelligence, it is an affectation. Corporations, heavily investing in AI, are not fairy godmothers trying to make a rock into a real human. They are just groups of sociopaths. I am, therefore, the on-the-ground linguist, who knows that there is one and only one language, and to study language, we study how it is applied through grammar systems. I am not a linguist by socially accepted definition, which means I am not carrying the STD of humanity. We do not study grammar systems, we make them, and we make them according to the dictates of language. Our job is to learn about the environment for survival, but our only tool is grammar, so in order to do our own work of survival, we learn about our tools and how to apply them to accomplish our own work. Our job is to maintain and promote life over the entire biosphere. We can hardly manage a biosphere if we are too stupid to manage our own hand. I have been constructing quite a lot of lessons in metagrammar, which has been historically called impossible to do. My work is therefore the only work at present which demonstrates what has historically been claimed impossible to do. That is not at all remarkable, for those who claimed its impossibility also called themselves literate. Unable to prove themselves to be human, they simply believed that there is some magic in grammar which made them real boys and girls by simple utterances. I suppose one can just as easily claim that Harry Potter is their parents. Every life support system evolving is not functional until after a cusp point in that evolution. One will even find this truth in the Bible. The ability to learn grammar systems is therefore a simple test of your humanity. As written, you cannot buy or sell unless you have the mark of the beast, or again, the parallel between hand and mind so as to achieve reciprocity in behavior. In buying and selling, if there is no reciprocity, there is lying and cheating. So, if you believe that reciprocity is a horror, you are definitely not human. What marks you as a beast, just another animal, is the inability to recognize and use the law of reciprocity, or the law of the image. By biological fact, our mind is supposed to be in the image of God, that is, the spoken universe, not some brain-dead imagination. Imagine that. No social leader to date has ever had the wit to figure out how to manage human behavior, when it is factually a biological given that we must learn. There is mankind's definition of a capitalist, and there is the truth about capitalism. A capitalist believes in the law of reciprocity, as our advantage is to manage the environment in order to maintain and promote life. True capitalism cannot possibly do the harm people claim. What they are calling capitalism is not capitalism at all, it is the practice of deception and deceit. The law of reciprocity, of buying and selling, does not negate, but enforces, doing unto others as you would have them do unto you, making your life comply with the definition as a life support system. There are, as Plato noted, as the computer has proven globally, but also, by definition of a thing, in of itself, two, and only two parts of speech. Of the two parts of speech, one is a given, the relative difference, the other is how we shape, add and subtract, etc., to make particular things, which is called information parsing. Therefore, in grammar, the parsing of information is inclusive of what people call mathematical operations. What does this mean? It means that as soon as you recognize the two parts of speech, you have also recognized that parsing is inclusive of all so-called logical and mathematical operations, or in short, grammar does not depend upon the uttering of magical words granting you the ability to parse information. Axiomatics are a myth. Methods of parsing actually follows from the fact that parsing is part of definition. All of grammar, factual learning of grammar, is the learning of the standards of parsing by which we take advantage of binary recursion as applied to the physical world in order to maintain and promote life. Never has anyone had to mumble magic words in order to be born. As a life support system of a living organism, we have a lifetime given job to do. Our ability to do that job is afforded by a proven fact: everything is the product of the definition of a thing, that is, a binary construct. Therefore, we are born with a perfect method of doing our job. So, a lifetime job and a perfect method of doing the job. Only a stupid animal can fuck that arrangement up. If, therefore, you live in fear, that fear is the fear of being an animal without a purpose and thus no need of a method of doing its work. If you do not measure up to being a human, there is only one thing you lack: the intelligence to learn only two parts of speech and how to maintain reciprocity. You have to be really stupid not to be able to master those easy givens. What does it mean to be one like Moses? Did not Moses speak to God, face to face, even apparently? As a mind is an information processor, it stands to reason that judgment is the only thing a mind can know, and it stands to reason that knowing judgment is knowing binary recursion. Our job, as given, was to tend the garden of life, even the whole earth. How did you expect to do that job, unless you too could speak to God, face to face, even the whole universe, as it was spoken? The only power a mind can know. You are supposed to become, one day, one like Moses so that you can do the work you are being made to do. And as promised, I show you how you can perform all the operations of reasoning as a factual product of your own hand. Have I presented anything, whatsoever, mystical in what you saw with your own eyes? Are you smart enough not to be a slave? This has been just another lesson.
False words are not only evil in themselves, but they infect the mind with evil. Phaedo by Plato,